in terms of the clinical outcome assessments program within the Critical Path Institute and the PRO Consortium, which is a part of that, we have an incredibly important role in terms of making sure that the voice of the patient is incorporated into the assessment of new medical products, specifically drugs. And it is a situation where there are other drug development tools like biomarkers, but biomarkers are not able to capture the voice of the patient. They are biological markers that are physiological or biological laboratory tests, in a sense, that do not actually capture how a patient feels and functions in their daily lives. So it's incredibly important to do biomarker research because it provides a lot of insight into new drugs that are being developed in terms of the side effect profiles or the safety profiles, and also ultimately can be used for the assessment of efficacy or effectiveness of drugs in clinical trials. But we really need to know how that biomarker is related to how a patient feels and functions in their daily lives, because that's the clinical benefit, is how, if patients feel better and if they function better and if they live longer. And so clinical outcome assessments are incredibly, as I say, incredibly important part of our mission at the Critical Path Institute in terms of the development of drug development tools, which are essential to standardizing some of what we do, and we hope will expedite the development of drugs by bringing some commonalities to outcome measures. And that's one of the things that we do in this collective setting, is to make sure that the FDA in the future won't have as many assessment tools that they will have to evaluate in a specific therapeutic area. So in the area of depression, there are many different assessment tools that are used. Many of them have been used for years and are quite acceptable. But there are other therapeutic areas where there are many new measures being brought to clinical trials that the divisions, the review divisions within the FDA, then have to evaluate the assessment tool before they can evaluate the effectiveness of the drug. So what we're attempting to do is to standardize that assessment, bring multiple stakeholders together to develop a single tool that may become the standard assessment tool, so that the FDA doesn't have to spend their time evaluating the assessment tool and can focus on the evaluation of the treatment benefit that is captured by that assessment tool.